What's up, kind people of YouTube? My name's Ahmed and welcome back to yet another video. Today, I want to talk to you about Munjya. And yes, I've shaved. Do I look nice? Younger, maybe? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about Munjya and why I loved the film so much. Okay, I understand why a lot of people were conflicted about it. It did well in the theaters, but the people on OTT did not like it as much. There were more mixed reviews about it rather than people raving about it. And I think there are three reasons why that happened. Firstly, it is a horror comedy. Secondly, the story is good, but not what a lot of people enjoy watching on OTT platforms. And thirdly, the performances were a bit of a mixed bag. So let's get right into it. Firstly, let's talk about the fact that it was a horror comedy and it's set in the same universe as 3-2, which is going to be one of my reviews soon, and I've already worked on it, so you might see it really soon. And it's made by Maddox Films, and kudos to Maddox Films for actually creating a universe of good horror comedies in India. I still wish we got a lot more horror films, but I'm hoping that we will get more in the future because horror has been working now in India. First of all, it's a horror comedy and you have a sense of established nature about it. So we are used to a lot of horror comedies, and that makes a lot of difference when it comes to people watching a horror comedy, and that is why Munjya worked. Secondly, is taking the story from folklore. They're taking stories from folklore, so that is a good thing. That is a brilliant thing actually, because we have a lot of folk stories that we can talk about to expand on it and to create horror films from that. When we talk about Munjya and why I liked it, firstly, the storytelling is refreshing. They're not trying to break the fourth wall. They do sometimes, but they're not trying to break the fourth. You have to take away from the film that is not repeating tropes from the past of the same old Hindi shows that talk about horrors. The lady in white, the chudels, the one lady holding a candle walking down the street, and the usual werewolves that we see in India that are wearing a mask. So I'm glad that they go away from the usual storytelling perspective from there. Secondly, the technical excellence of the film, the CGI is done really well. It does stand out a little bit because you kind of know that it is CGI, you kind of figure it out, but at least from my perspective, the CGI wasn't bad. It was very proficient. The next thing that really worked in the favor of the film was the humor and the character arcs for them, especially the Munjya himself and his character arc and how smart he is as a character. All the characters that are involved in the film, they are smart. They're not dealing with an issue on their own. If you look at one of the tropes that happen in Hindi horror films, they're like, okay, there's this thing, we'll deal with it head on or we won't deal with it at all. But at least in this film, they find creative solutions to the problem that they have, and that leads to a lot of good moments in the film. One of my favorite parts of the film was when they were talking about how he wants to get married to Munni, and one of the characters actually pulled out a video of Munni Badnaam, and like, ये मुन्नी है हमारे पास अगर आप शादी करना चाहते हैं तो. Now coming to the fact that there were a lot of things that did not work in the favor of the film. First of all, what I didn't like about the film was it could have been slightly faster paced. It wasn't as fast paced as the originals 3 or Ruhi as well. I keep going back to those two films because I love those films and how well paced those films were. Second reason why I feel that it did not work was, well, it kind of felt childish at some points, and the solutions were, even though there were creative solutions to the problems, there were moments where you're like, you're genuinely scratching your head and you're like, okay, this is something that I can't deal with right now, and let's just move on from here. That has been my review of the film. I hope you enjoyed this review, and peace. I will see you in the next one really soon.